Hey y'all, so welcome to another vlog. No more school vlogs because unfortunately I had to drop out of classes. Let's talk about it. So I tried to film this like 2 times and it was way too long. So I'm gonna make it as short as possible, but also give details as to why I'm no longer in school. So as y'all know, I think I mentioned it in other vlogs. This is my second attempt at trying to go back to school. I tried last year and it didn't work out because I had to get an ADHD diagnosis and have paperwork in that wasn't done in time to be able to start classes. And I also had to do a SAP appeal in order to get back into school because the last time that I was in school, I had severe anxiety. I was not able to finish my finals and that lowered my GPA. I wasn't kicked out of school or the financial aid program. I was just put on academic probation. And since I applied for that SAP appeal, even though I wasn't able to attend classes last year, they still counted it as my first time applying and being accepted. And that comes into play now that things are more settled in terms of all my paperwork, and I thought it'd be a good time to try and reapply. It worked out. I was also told that this was counted as my second attempt at an appeal, and they usually only give you 2 attempts to apply for SAP, and then you would have to talk to the dean of students if you wanted to apply later on. And that was fine, whatever. I applied for classes. As y'all know, I was vlogging that experience. You from the future here. I forgot to give context as to what class I was talking about in this video. So, for context, every class that I've taken besides my math class, everything has been taken online and all finals are online. But when it comes to this one math class, we were told that the final has to be done in person with paper and pencil and a calculator. Great, we've been taking all exams with this thing called a lockdown browser to prevent cheating. So all my classes are going well. I get a notice telling me that the final has to be done in person. And I'm a person that has anxiety. I do not like being in classrooms or school settings if I don't have to be, especially when it comes to test taking. It makes me really, really nervous. When there's tests in school, I always end up bombing it. Hence why I decided to take online classes. I come to find out that the final has to be done in person and done on paper and pencil. And there were prerequisites for that as well. If we did not get at least 6 questions correct on the final, if we didn't get 6 questions correct on the final, even if a person passed everything else prior to that final, their material and tests would not be looked at, and you would get an automatic fail for the class. That's it. Yeah. And I read through the syllabus again. Like, I was looking back at the syllabus and I was like, wait, how did I miss this? Apparently I missed this. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, this sounds not good because I'm really bad at test taking in person. And there's a lot of pressure with this test, especially since I'm on academic probation. If I end up failing a class, that will drop my GPA. Even if I pass the other 2, my GPA will be even lower and I'll get kicked out of financial aid. My counselor was like, yeah, I can totally write you a note so you'll be able to get the accommodations that you need and take the test at home. Especially since they already have provisions like the lockdown browser for you to use so there's no cheating. A counselor writes a note. We're thinking it's going to be fine. I submit this letter to them. Immediately, they're just like, no, you can't take your test at home. We can put you in a quiet room and give you a pencil and a calculator, and that's your accommodations. That's all we can do. Yeah. That's the accommodations that they decided to give me, and they would not budge on that. So my options were I can either finish my classes, bomb this math final, and fail out of school, because that's most likely what would have happened. Chance it, maybe pass, and everything would be okay. Or drop my classes beforehand, stay within good financial standing with the school, and be okay with seeing, maybe trying another semester. And I chose the better option of the two that was given, because I was not going to set myself up for failure, especially when I know myself and I know how I work when it comes to school. And that's where I'm at. I decided to just drop my classes and call it a day so I could still be in good standing with financial aid. Not that I'm going to go back to school now or in the near future from this point, especially not the school that I'm at now, because they blatantly just ignored my accommodations. Yeah. So me from the future here again. Just wanted to add a little bit more of my feelings about this whole my accommodations not being met. So the reason why I wasn't okay with sitting in a room, other than me having anxiety about the test taking process and just being in the school setting in general, was also because I use technology to read to me. And y'all know this because I have talked about it in the 2 vlogs that I have posted talking about school. So I use the technology to read to me, and that makes me feel very comfortable when test taking. Now, I talked this over with my counselor, and she even believes that they are being very unaccommodating, because the accommodations that I asked for was not unreasonable. Because prior to that, I've been taking all my math tests. Prior to the final that's coming up, that I won't be taking because of obvious reasons, with the lockdown browser in place. And I've been doing really well with that because I'm in a comfortable environment. For me, asking if I can take the final at home with the lockdown browser is not unreasonable. And their answer, the accessibility office answers that was just like, we can't allow that. Which again makes no sense to me, because all the other tests are the same. All the other tests are just as important as the final, and I was allowed to take that at home with the lockdown browser. And there was no other explanation given to me but that. So it's very, very frustrating. I'm very frustrated that my doctor wrote a note and it was completely ignored, as if it was just me writing a handwritten note and handing it in to a teacher. That's how it was ignored. It wasn't even given a glance. It was just like, no, we can't do that. Yeah. And I'm just really peeved and upset by that, because I was passing everything prior to me dropping classes. So it's really, really frustrating. Alright, that is all for the school thing. Okay, so since I abruptly had to drop all my classes and I'm no longer in school, I went on a shopping spree, a mini one, for some DVDs, and I'm going to share it with y'all. For this first one, it's a classic. If you were born in the 90s, if you were a kid in the 90s or a teenager, you'll probably know this one. It is Dawson's Creek, season 1. I haven't watched the show since it ended. No, that's a lie. I haven't watched the show since like 2008. And even then, I was watching episodes here and there. So it's going to be very interesting jumping into the series for the first time fully and looking at it through a different perspective, because I remember shipping Dawson and Joey, as you see in the corner, as you see in the box here. But this time around, I'm going to look at it through the perspective of me shipping Joey and Pacey. So it's going to be a very interesting watch this time around. Alright, so we have another one here. I never watched this show, but I've seen it around when I was younger, here and there on TV in the background. and that is Seinfeld season 1 and 2. I picked this up literally for $1.50, both seasons in a pack. I watch, honestly, I think I've seen like the first 3 episodes, and it's pretty funny. And yeah, I'm just really interested to see how the rest of the season goes. So I ended up finding Monster High on DVD, which is really awesome. I've never really watched the full episode, but I have seen a lot of people on TikTok having this in their DVD collection, and I was like, if I find one in the thrift store for a good price, I'm picking them up. So I got this one. Also in the animated category, My Little Pony the movie. Gotta love it. I have one VHS here that I picked up also, y'all. This one, it's gonna be a hard watch for me, but I'm going to watch it, and I bought it because I'm trying to pick up all of Julia Roberts' discography. I think that's how you say it, right? Or is discography only for CDs and music? Or is that a general term for just their collection? Anyway, I'm trying to pick up all of Julia Roberts' movies. Picked up Stepmom. Yeah, this was only $1 also, and I picked it up. And the first time I watched this movie, I cried throughout the whole thing. And I don't know how I'm going to feel as an adult watching this again. But yeah, I got Stepmoms on VHS. And y'all, my VHS player plus my DVD player just broke. So why am I buying DVDs? I don't know. But yeah, my DVD player and my VHS player broke. And I say both because they were both connected. I had the dual situation where it's like the VHS on one side, DVD on the other. And yeah, the VHS stopped working. And when I popped in a CD, that also stopped working. So that sucks for me. Now I'm on a hunt for another VHS. Another one that's going to be a hard watch for me, but I had to pick it up because it was $1. And that is A Silent Voice. Y'all, this movie, my friend tells me, has a good disability representation. But I could not get past the first couple of scenes because the bullying that our main character experiences because of their disability was disheartening. And I just couldn't get past it. Why am I picking up things that are going to make me sad? I don't know. But here we are. Pick this up for $1. I will eventually watch it at some point. And y'all, I literally, on another weird separate note, I literally just found my glasses today. They were lost for about 2 months. They were just lost. And I magically found them in a bag. Can't tell you how we got there, but I have my glasses back. I can see. Not that I can't see without them, but I realized, and I'm like, oh my god, I can see things like zoomed in. If that makes any sense. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, yeah, that is all for this little mini video. I just wanted to update y'all on what's been going on and why I won't be seeing any more school stuff because I'm no longer in college, which sucks because yeah. So yeah, I will be doing more lifestyle things on this channel, going back to doing more booktube content, trying to be more consistent going forward. Gonna try my best. That's all I have to update. I will see ya in the next video.